to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence for our sick, handicapped, recently departed, and the military personnel of our community. Roll call.
Mr. Henderson?
Here.
Mr. Petroselli? Mr. Colosimo? Here. Mr. Gallarducci?
Here.
Mr. Verducci? Here. Mr. Jaschalski?
Here.
Ms. Cimaroli? Here. Mayor Copeland? Here. Solicitor McDermott?
Here.
Engineer Brett?
Here.
Chief King? Assistant Chief Sigmar?
Here.
And Chief Miller?
Here.
On the side of Mr. Holmeyer.
Okay, Bobby.
I just have two items I'd like to suggest to bring up. And looking at the calendar real quick, I can see that election time is coming real close here, and it looks like we probably won't have another meeting right until after the election.
True.
Yeah. So there may be some people here on council that are going to be here or not here by the time we come to the meeting, correct?
That's
So I want to thank anybody for their service that maybe isn't going to be around next time. Also, they say all politics are local, so maybe in Bridgeville more so is what I'm going to say. I've known Bruce since Cook School. I've known Bill since Center Street and Liberty Street. Justine since high school. We graduated together. Kindergarten. Okay. Betty, her husband, delivered my mail, followed him around, graduated high school with Kurt, still play shortball with Kurt, things like that. So just my point is, the election comes up and we look around and we see signs and we see names and we don't know much about other than that person. And we say, I knew that person. I know, and Joe from softball, I should say. But anyhow, you don't know where they stand. My suggestion or at least recommendation is maybe next year or before the election that the people running for council, we could get together, maybe they could introduce themselves, maybe at the planning commission, maybe down at the library, that they have a 5-minute talk, 10-minute question and answer, so that we get to know more about them before we elect them for a term.
I love the idea. I mean, for me, I agree with you.
I know Dino, he's my neighbor. Jason, he sells me my hardware. Neely, I don't know at all, but maybe I vote for him. Maybe Franchek, maybe I vote, but I'm not. It's just a name on a sign.
How you doing, Mr. Colmeyer?
We'll talk after.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we formulate a debate down here some night, and we'll get all that. No, I appreciate your comments, Bobby. I do think that people, I get a little frustrated because we talk about this every election, know who you're voting for, know where they stand, know what their concepts are on the issues and everything. But we see the same people at these meetings all the time. You sometimes wonder if people are reaching out and having the discussions that you're talking about.
But maybe now we have the internet, people are watching and they're not saying anything, but they're saying what they're voting. And you have a meeting with another camera on them, and they speak up and say where they stand on certain issues. I know you know that I have certain concerns, but other people have other concerns. So maybe they could be answered in the next 2 weeks before we put somebody on council.
I'm not sure we're going to get together, get a group together just yet, but or before this election. It's a little late, I would think, but
I just thought I'd throw it out.
Yeah,
maybe next time.
Yeah.
Not to throw in a solicitor comment, but that actually is something you do outside of a public meeting, because this is governance and politics have to be instigated either by the politicians or other folks outside of this forum. You can't really talk politics and elections in a council meeting.
I would almost say that would be the party's
Yes.
decision to do
Or
something.
maybe the 3 members of a new party would
Well,
like to
my
have that.
understanding, they did have something. Correct, Shane?
Yeah, we'll speak after. Absolutely. No, like Mr. Verducci's saying is that, you put it out on Facebook, that's a popular one, or a website, but like you're saying, it's not always everybody's.
Not all
thing.
visited.
No, absolutely, no, so walking and knocking is still key, but you still gotta know where people stand, right? So,
Okay, the other item I wanted to bring up, and this is maybe a question, and Justine and I have talked about the Bank Street work. Has the final notes, the punch list been corrected? And you said the signs are gone now. I know that we have this is somewhat related, a comprehensive plan submitted, but the laydown area that the contractor used on Washington Pike is still there, and it's an eyesore. That's, just saying maybe they can clean that up as part of their.
Joe, I know the signs on Bank Street are gone,
And the sandbags, all the signs.
and but are they all finished with Bank Street?
I've never been told that they have.
Okay,
All the storm sewer work is still outstanding.
okay.
By that, you mean the inlets that have a separation? And then one other point, I just wanted to, maybe the engineer could monitor this, and I know this is a PennDOT road, and I know a little bit there. But some of the seams that were on the shoulders especially with the colder temperatures were already starting to separate. So the fabric was put down under the travel lane, but not under the shoulder. So that's where it was right. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Bob, I appreciate it.
Hey, Joe, real quick, weren't they supposed to come back and do those lights for the jetouts, like at some of the intersections
Next year.
next year, so the job's not done yet.
No, it's a separate contract.
Oh, is it?
They're doing it. Same contractor doing it?
I haven't been told that yet.
Oh, okay. So it's not finished, so they wouldn't finish it off if they're gonna go back in there. So.
But I know like the concerns about all that storm, catch basins has been passed on to them. They said they got till December to do it.
Any other comments? All right.
I just want to reiterate what he said. Jeannie and I appreciate your public service, all of you.
Thank you. All right, regular order of business. Need a motion to approve the September 11th, 2023 regular meeting minutes as submitted. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. I need a motion to approve the October 2023 bill list.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Excuse me. I need a motion to approve the October 13th, 20th, 27th, November 3rd, and 10th payrolls.
So moved.
Second,
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. I need a motion to adopt resolution number 2023-11. It's a resolution of the Borough of Bridgeville, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, setting the police pension fund contributions to fund the shortfall in the police pension fund evidenced by an independent actuarial study and as permitted by previous ordinances and the police collective bargaining agreement.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Need a motion to adopt a resolution number 2023-12, a resolution of the Borough of Bridgeville, Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, authorizing the president, council, and borough manager to execute forms and documents for the FEMA Building Resilience or Resilient Infrastructure and Communities grant that will construct Phase 1A of the McLaughlin Run Flood Control project.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. I live there, I I need a motion to schedule and advertise the 2024 budget meeting for Monday, November 6th, 2023 at 7 p.m. in council chambers.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. This is a discussion item for Presley Road, Charlotte Street, and Parrott Street intersection improvement plan prepared by PennDOT's engineers through the PennDOT Local Technical Assistance Program. You all have that in your packet. We talked a little bit before the meeting here got started, just looking at the packet. Are there any questions about what they're proposing?
I have. Kevin, are they, drivers are pretty much gonna drive right through that white pavement section anyway?
This didn't go through Kevin's firm.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This went through Panoni, which was a traffic engineering firm through PennDOT.
PennDOT.
Okay. So what happened was, is if you remember, this came out of multiple council meetings where Councilman Petroselli asked that intersection to be studied for public safety. We went to PennDOT's traffic engineer, LTAP program, they offer free technical assistance. They sent out a traffic engineer. The original request was to put, stop signs everywhere. They came back and said, as we thought, it doesn't meet the form for it. But they realized that the concerns there was really to calm the traffic from Collier Township side on Presley, shooting straight up Charlotte Street that almost clipped the front of cars coming out of Parrot. So his recommendation, without doing too much, reconstruction of the roadway, was, hey, let's align the road. And it could be done in multiple ways, he said. He said, first suggestion was line painting with like delinear posts, like the little white posts that you see on the side of the road.
Oh, they're putting those up.
Yeah, and that could be put there to put the traffic over, and then the two borough streets, nothing gets done to Parrot, but Charlotte Street, the yellow line gets kind of kicked like on a dog leg, so that you come down a little bit more perpendicular to Parrot, to Presley Road to come out. So it would calm the traffic and give you a little more visibility if you're coming out of Parrot Street. And then the recommendation was, if this works, and if, like you're saying, then we go back to PennDOT saying, hey, let's see if they can make this a legit concrete curb. So that was what they recommended.
Okay.
But they said basically they use it as a guinea pig.
They want to try the white painting line.
Yeah, and his suggestion was, like you said, it's like, it's ironic. Look at the Google aerial mapping that took this picture. A car is in the hash mark, still not really following the line. They're gonna still go there.
That could be me.
So that's why he suggested, if you look across the street at the guardrail,
Yeah.
you'll see those little white posts like you see.
Well,
Yeah.
to be honest, that was what I was gonna, or they gonna put something else there to.
Yeah, so look, if you read the correspondence, it's, hey, if we like the idea, then we would send it to PennDOT to officially ask them to further consider it, and if they agree to it, either they do the work on Presley or give us the permission to do it. So that's where we're at with that.
I think in response to the several requests or complaints about that intersection, it's doing what we're allowed to do or what PennDOT would support. So, Mike, you had a question?
I was gonna say, what's the gist of the change that you guys are doing? What's the gist of the change that you guys are doing?
So if you're coming from the Collier side on Presley,
Yeah.
and you would go straight.
Yeah, you
on
zip right up the hill.
The complaints have been that people coming off of Parrot have to come out too far to see the traffic coming, and anyone going straight on Presley doesn't have any reason to stop or anything, and they're cutting just going straight forward. So I can show this to you afterwards.
That's
but
fine, just,
they want to push that traffic out further so that it protects the people.
gotcha.
You know.
Okay. No, 'cause I know in the past, people were saying, they should make it a one-way street.
Yeah.
I didn't know how drastic this was.
They've requested red lights and stop signs and everything up there. Yeah.
But this is just a recommendation, a request for PennDOT for their approval. So
It's a
they-
state road, so
Yeah.
we can't do this on our own. We would have to go to PennDOT for the work on Presley.
They would do the work on Burke.
I don't know. Our first shot would be to ask them to do the work on Presley.
I don't know what's Burke. They're accepting the liability for that, correct?
We're gonna send it to them. And he agreed. That was on the email chain when we put it on.
So, are there any more questions about it?
And then the last little bit to go with this is that Nino went with me the day that the fellow from Panoni was here, and the traffic engineer went in detail with everything, with Councilman Petroselli, and he was supportive of it. At least it's us doing something to at least improve it. He doesn't seem there's a lot of concern from us.
So if we're in agreement, we would need a motion to authorize a request of PennDOT for review and approval. I'll make it. All in favor? Opposed?
And then
Thanks.
knowing that, the work, it's gonna take a while to get to PennDOT, so it probably won't be fastest for spring.
Yeah. All right, I need a motion to accept and pay any commission due September 2023, the real estate tax collector report.
So move.
Second. All in Need a motion to acknowledge receipt of the September 2023 Treasurer's Report.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Need a motion to accept all submitted September 2023 official reports.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And motion carries. Okay, committee reports. Administration, Nick.
Currently, I have nothing to report, but I do appreciate all the hard work Joe is putting into all the grants that we've been receiving, so thank you, Joe, for that.
I'll echo that. Well done, Joe. Any questions for Nick? Finance, Joe.
Nick stole my thunder about the grants, so I'll just move on. As you can see, we have our budget meeting on November 6th, and the Finance Committee will schedule a meeting in the next week or two to get together with Joe just to have some final conversations before having that budget meeting. So I'll let you guys know later this week as far as availability. That's all I have.
Any questions for Joe? All right, Parks and Rec, Joe Clausen.
Yeah, real quick here. Work started up at the playground equipment up at Cook School Park, and they should be going at it pretty good this week, supposedly. Once they finish up there, they'll be moving on to McLaughlin Run Park. The bids will be going out in the spring on the basketball and pickleball courts up at Cook School Park, so hopefully that'll be in for the summertime next year. And that's all I have for parks.
A question. I have a question. In regards to these pickleball courts, do we know, are they being utilized now? Isn't there a pickleball court in McLaughlin Run?
Always being used.
It's always being used?
Every time I go down with my dog, it's
So, have we thought about, because there has to be a lot of pickleball teams, correct, or pickleball leagues? Have we thought about renting those courts out for some purpose for these pickleball teams, once a month or once a week?
First I ever heard anything like that, to be honest with you.
That was my question too. I talked to Sue Statico, and her and her wife Rosie, they're in a pickleball league, and I forget which town they go to, but it's a lot of money. It's a nice little.
Scott had a really good one.
What?
Scott and St. Clair had really good ones.
Yeah, they have to pay a fee to do the league, and it's always being used, and it's something to think about as source of income. And you have these nice pickleball courts and put it right back into the parks.
Right, I mean, we could do a schedule online and, so that residents could utilize it when it's not being, we should put the residents first and rentals second.
Yeah, I think there's only gonna be 2 courts up at Coastal, right?
It's just one pickleball.
One.
And then a basketball one.
Yeah, okay. Yep. I'm in agreement with you guys that it's for the residents first, right? But
Right.
I like the idea of if we could get some money to help maintain it, that'd be awesome.
Even instructors. That would be a good.
If you promoted leagues, would you then struggle with having available time for the residents? I'm just being the devil's advocate.
So you have leagues for the softball team, right? No, I'm just saying, how do you do that? I just said that would do a similar,
They designate 3 days.
yeah.
And BAA wants to be in charge of that, right?
Okay, any more questions for Joe? All right, Public Works, we have a.
Yeah, I got something
Okay.
for Nino, still in Italy, he'll be back next week or so, hopefully. But real quick, the curbside leaf pickup is starting October 9th and runs through the December the 8th. The brush grinder program starts November 6th and runs through November 30th. That's like for heavy duty trees and whatnot, up to 8 inches in diameter, I believe.
8 inches.
6, 7 feet long. If you got some heavy duty clearing to do, that would be the time to put it out, and the borough will take care of it for you. Paving in the alleys was completed by Public Works on the alleys between Chestnut and Elm. behind the 200 block in May, and on I-79 and Alamo Alley, that work's been done. And this is sort of part of parks also, the trail from Romano Drive down into McLaughlin Run Park has been cleared and pushed back, and the public works folks are going to finishing up that project in the next month, as far as putting down mulch or whatever. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Nino's birthday too, right?
Yes, it was.
Public safety, Bruce.
I don't have anything as far as public safety, but civil service side of it. We had put out advertisement for police officers. We only got in 3 applicants. So on the 19th, they'll report to the fire department for agility test, and then right after that, if they pass the agility, then they'll go into the written test. So, but there was only 3 candidates. That's all I have, sir.
Thank you. Any questions for Bruce? Okay, Mayor Betty Copeland.
Our officer Young retired, and we presented him with a watch for his over 28 years of service to our police department. On October 12th, Senator Devlin Robinson will be having a senior expo at the library, volunteer fire department from 10 to 12. On the 13th, the viewing will be for Mike Connolly, our former chairperson of the Parking Authority, at Vine Hour Funeral Home from 2 to 8. October 20th, the Southwest Chamber of Commerce will be having an official ribbon cutting for the Cox Woodworking Company that opened up, and that's at 6 p.m. on the 20th. Reservations, RSVPs are asked for, but not really necessary. If you care to show up, we'd be more than happy to have you there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. And it was a good reminder. I'd like to thank Mike Connolly for his years of service here on the Parking Authority. He was a mainstay for us for quite some time, so sorry to lose him. Police chief is absent. Solicitor, Tom.
Yeah, the only thing I would add to the written report or note is that Joe and I did host a pre-bid conference for the garbage contract on the 4th, and actually Joe issued the addendum that we put together today. The only questions touched upon how the 3-year versus 5-year works, and when that would be determined, which is at the time of award, and just some questions about how extensions work. That was about it.
Okay. That will we let you up next month?
Yeah, November 6th is a big opening.
Any questions for Tom? Okay, Borough Engineer Kevin Brett.
Nothing additional to our report dated October 3rd. I can answer any questions.
Anything for Kevin? Fire Chief, Assistant Chief.
Thank you, Mr. President. The only thing we have is we had 25 calls in the month of September.
Busy.
Yeah, it was a busy month for us.
Any fun events coming up this month?
No. Well, yeah, we have the trick or treat, trunk or treat on the 30th, I believe, and then the Halloween parade on the 20th.
Okay, Southbridge EMS Dan.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just wanted to make the board aware that KDKA is running a investigative report on the crisis in EMS in Pennsylvania. Actually, it's nationwide, and you know how EMS services are feeling the crunch of increased costs, personnel retention, and insurance companies that basically don't want to pay the bill, which kind of ends up putting us in a kind of bit of a quagmire on how to keep operating. So we would appreciate the board, look at that article and review that and watch those. It was tonight at 6, should repeat at 11, and then tomorrow evening it's at 6 o'clock again, part 2 of that. So
I watched it before I left.
I'm sorry.
I watched it before I left.
Yeah, I'll wait for that. Appreciate that. Thank you.
October 24th program will be The Brick Lady, presented by Jean Bear. And October 26th and 27th at the Historical Society, we'll have our annual bake sale. Chairperson Karen Falcone urges you to come out. She says we have the best bakers in the borough contributing.
What are those dates again?
October 26th and 27th, 11 to 2.
Thank you. Library.
So you have our written report. This month we have a sculpture exhibition going on, and that's put on by Public Art Bridgeville and the Pittsburgh Society of Sculptors. And that'll be all month long. We also have our annual Friends of the Library Halloween at the Haunted Library, and that will be Friday, October 27th from 6 to 8. That's family friendly, and it is free, but we do ask that you register so we know how many to expect, and we will also see everyone at Trunk or Treat. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Parking authority, Deb.
Good evening, everybody. Our next meeting is Monday, October 16th, 7 o'clock. Our new part-time employee named Yolanda, she's working out really well. Gina's real pleased with her performance. We're waiting on the installation of cameras at Railroad Street. They're pending. Nino is helping work on that. Of course, he's in Italy right now. He said he was going to zoom in at 1 o'clock in the morning, but he probably wasn't awake. So, let's see. And also, on behalf of the Parking Authority, we do offer our sincere condolences to the family of Mike Conley. Mike served the Parking Authority for many years, and he served also as the chairman of the Parking Authority. His viewing, like Mayor said, is this Friday, October 13th, from 2 to 8 at Fine House. That's all I have.
Thank you, Deb.
Welcome.
Planning Commission.
Let's see, well, we received the draft comprehensive plan last month, and we reviewed it, the steering committee reviewed it and made some modifications, and then it went back out to every steering committee people. We have until tomorrow to make notes, back to Mackin. Then after that, it will be presented back to the planning commission, and then it goes out for a 45-day public review. And after that, then there will be a residents meeting. So that's that. Joe and I also met today with Tree Pittsburgh to organize the tree planting on October 21st. I think right now we must have about 15 or 17 volunteers, so that's good. And we look forward to anybody else that wants to come. It starts at 9 o'clock.
Do we bring our own shovels?
No.
They'll be provided.
Bring your own coffee.
And Joe's already got the bench for down there, so let's give it
So
a
free coffee and a free shovel, how about that?
Any questions for Justine? Okay, Borough Head.
A couple quick things. It was included in the report. We got a grant from the Attorney General's office for $1,100 that bought majority of the stuff that goes in our annual Halloween treat bags. So it all has a message about stop bullying, stay away from drugs. So that's all being received, so then we can put that out with the treat bags for the Halloween parade on the 28th. Our annual training for the safety committee, the workers' comp safety committee, was completed, and our safety committee was recertified for the year. We got a 5% discount on the firefighters' workers' comp policy. The 2024 budget, like Councilman Pertucci said, first draft has been prepared. First draft doesn't include any proposals for a tax increase, and kind of addresses the majority of the requests we were getting from members of council and the departments. And we'll go over it with the finance committee this month, so that going into the budget meeting, it should be a smooth presentation. Fourth quarter newsletter has been completed and goes out with trash bills next week. It's already posted on the website. There's a lot going on in the next month or two, so the newsletter is pretty informative this round, so make sure you give it a look. The new recycle cards that were authorized at last month's council meeting were ordered. They're set for mid-January delivery. We already coordinated how do we get rid of the old recycle cans, and there's an article included in the newsletter. And it's nice that we do have a stock of about 200, so that if they get damaged or someone wants an extra one, we'll be able to purchase that. And some we'll discuss at the finance committee. I think they cost too much money just to give them away right now, so we'll work that out. There was a request out of the Public Safety Committee earlier this year about tractor trailers turning off of Washington Avenue onto Station Street, hitting light poles, buildings, vehicles. PennDOT did review that request and sent a response back to us saying that they're going to implement a no truck restriction on Station Street between Washington Avenue and Railroad Street. They're telling us within the next 2 months, signage will be going up that will restrict trucks over 30 feet from turning down the hill.
They have a tractor, right?
Yeah, identical, but I think it'd just be signed a little differently, so that if you're on, like, coming into town from the Bank Street side, you'll know to put on the road. Yeah. Other than that, everything else was pretty much detailed in the monthly report. Any questions?
Well, to pile on, this is the time of year we start to feel we start talking about budgeting, and to hear that we're talking about holding the line again on no taxes. It's the credit of all the funding that has been secured through Joe and his commitment to Bridgeville, that we're experiencing the good part of that right now, right? We don't have to raise our taxes. We got a lot of stuff going on in the community. So again, appreciate all you're doing. Second that. New business. Anything under new business? Make a motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
Wait, hey,
Go ahead, Deb.
I forgot in my report, the old banners that were replaced, we have them down to the parking authority. Some of them are still in pretty decent condition. So we put a word out that if you want yours as a family member, call down their email by November, I think we said November 6th or something, or 8th, something like that, and we'll hold them for you. If you don't know if yours are one of the ones replaced, you can call down there, we do have a list. Gino will gladly tell you. But it's a shame because they're gonna be thrown in the garbage. If you don't want them. So I wanted to put that out.
Thank you, Deb. We have a motion